Nya nya nya. Ba. Ba. Babue. Zimbabwe. The broken Bunsen burner burns so bright. South.
Jamie.
Southeast Asian Peninsula.
Hey, Jamie?
Yes.
I think the only line we need from you today is drivers who switch to Progressive could save big.
Cool. I just gotta finish my warm-ups. Foul, foul, throw in the towel. History.
Switch to Progressive today.
Santa ski slalom in a salmon skin suit.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Lowe's Springfest is here. We've got $10 off gallon cans or $40 off 5-gallon pails on select interior and exterior paints, stains, and coatings. And appliance special values plus free local delivery on appliances $396 or more in-store and online. Lowe's, home to any budget, home to any possibility. Offers valid through 4/14. Actual paint sizes are 116 to 640 fluid ounces. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for rebate terms and conditions. For appliances, restrictions and additional fees may apply. See Lowe's.com or store for details. U.S. only.
Typical, what I've been talking about for a very, very long time. Freedom Watch and you, the American people, need to rise up. Now is not the time to talk. Now is not the time to gather documents. Now is not the time to go on Newsmax or Fox News and beat your chest and say how great I am. Look at the documents I got. Information yesterday coming out on Newsmax, Tom Fitton of Judicial Watch, saying that Wuhan got $3.7 million from the Obama administration and that the seeds of the virus were sent over by, you guessed it, Dr. Anthony Fauci. I've been saying this now for a year and a half. My clients, Judy Mikovits, eyewitnesses, worked with Fauci in the Wuhan lab, knows what went on. She's a virologist. We have filed class action suits. We haven't just gotten documents in Dallas, Texas, and Jerusalem, Israel. Now is the time for the American people to wake up. Talk is enough. All the Republican Party does is talk. They talk about reforming Obamacare. They talk about balancing the budget. They haven't done jack, squat, nada. It's a dead party. And they haven't addressed the problems that we have with regard to representatives like Rashida Tlaib, who's back in the news after the riots in Minnesota saying we don't need police. Of course, she says we don't need police. Do you know why? Because she's tied to terrorist organizations. That's why. Because she's more than a radical Muslim. And in fact, my client, Laura Loomer, brought a lawsuit against her for assaulting her. And that'll be refiled shortly. Believe me, a federal judge, as usual, as I write in my book, It Takes a Revolution, dismissed the case. Oh, I don't have any jurisdiction, even though it was a civil rights violation, because she was attacked, Laura Loomer, because of her Jewishness. This is what we're dealing with today. That's why I wrote the book. And then, of course, there's the question of what the government says. You can't believe the word the government says, and you can't believe a word that the pharmaceutical companies tell you. We now know that the J&J vaccine is potentially extremely dangerous. Already, several women have gotten blood clots in their brains over the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Again, my client, Judy Mikovits, warned of this. And then, of course, there's Pfizer, who came clean and said, oh, well, it's only going to last 6 months at a maximum. Well, if they say 6 months, it means it's a lot less. And now we find out from a study in Israel that the new mutants from South Africa and other places are likely not going to be protected by the vaccines. Yet, all of this misinformation, doctors pushing to take it, others pushing to take it, politicians pushing to take it, trying to get themselves off the hook. And all the time, not doing anything with regard to China, just talking like Fitton did yesterday of Judicial Watch. We have to bring the lawsuits. But that's not enough. Even if we had a government, the government would be representing the interests of the American people, not rolling over. And that was true even during the Trump era. China wasn't confronted. All that Trump said was, this is the Kung flu. Insults towards China, but we need more than insults. They need to pay for the damage. That's why I brought these class actions. Damage to our health, damage emotionally, damage with regard to the financial well-being of this country. And it's why we have citizens' grand juries, because we need to hold these politicians accountable. We'll be getting the indictment this Thursday after 3 prior sessions. of Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, and James Biden for massive bribery. Guess it? You guessed it. From where? Communist China. Millions, if not billions of dollars laundered into the family's accounts through Hunter Biden with a 10% cut, according to eyewitness Tony Bobolinsky that we presented to the Citizens Grand Jury. 10% cut for Joe Biden. He's owned by the butchers of Beijing. And now the people are even being harmed by these vaccines that have been pushed on the American people. They're experimental. They've never been approved by the FDA. And we continue to get misinformation about the role of Dr. Anthony Fauci, who was at the heart of this thing. So this is Judicial Watch. We will rise up. Freedom Watch. That's a Freudian slip, because when I ran Judicial Watch, we do what we now do at Freedom Watch. We will rise up. We need your support. Go to freedomwatchusa.org, contribute to our cause, join our Justice League, read my book, It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry, where Jefferson predicted that federal judges, unelected, unaccountable to the people, would become despots and tyrants, and that someday we'd have to shed the blood of patriots again. He predicted about every 20 years. It took longer than he predicted, but we're here again. And I don't want blood to be shed. That's why I've given peaceful and legal means to wage the revolution. Some judge in Washington, D.C. yesterday by the name of John Bates, another Trump appointee, I believe, made a statement that it was against the United States. It was traitorous for this individual to enter into the Capitol. He released this person. But you know what? It wasn't traitorous. What else are you going to do when you have nothing to lose? As Janis Joplin sung, as Chris Christopherson wrote in the 60s, freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Freedom ain't worth nothing, but it's free. We're not free anymore. We're living under a socialist, communist, atheist sword of Damocles put upon us by one edict after another by Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and their leftist hordes. The American people rise up peacefully and legally. Read my book and join Freedom Watch at freedomwatchusa.org and order the book. All major booksellers. You can get it for free at freedomwatchusa.org with a contribution of $50 or more. That's my podcast for today. Take this seriously. We're in a crisis. God bless you. Remember that the Father and Son help those that help themselves. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast. Until then, thank you for listening to me.
Stick it to cheat day with flavor that fuels. 2 new flavors from Reign Total Body Fuel.
He shoots, he scores!
Cherry Limeade, wild cherry with a burst of lime. And White Gummy Bear, tangy tart pineapple goodness. 300 milligrams of natural caffeine, electrolytes, BCAAs, and CoQ10. Sweet without the cheat. Take that, sugar. Try new Reign Cherry Limeade and White Gummy Bear. A total body fuel ×2.
Hey, we get it. You don't want to be hearing a Progressive commercial right now, so let us tell you something you do want to hear. You are powerful. You're a warrior who bathes in your enemy's tears. Then you step out of that refreshing tear bath and into a bathrobe that somehow looks good on you. Yeah, you can pull off a robe. There. Don't you feel better? You'll also feel better when you save money for driving safely with Snapshot from Progressive. Savings you can use to buy more robes. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California, North Carolina, or from all agents.
Lowe's Spring Fest is here. We've got $10 off gallon cans or $40 off 5-gallon pails on select interior and exterior paints, stains, and coatings. And appliance special values plus free local delivery on appliances $396 or more in-store and online. Lowe's, home to any budget, home to any possibility. Offers valid through 4/14. Actual paint sizes are 116 to 640 fluid ounces. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for rebate terms and conditions. For appliances, restrictions and additional fees may apply. See Lowe's.com or store for details. U.S. only. Store for details.